So a few weeks ago, I watched the Humpty Dumpty movies because I had watched the Jack in the Box films and was actually kind of okay with them. I thought they were actually very serious, shockingly, and not all that terrible. And was like, okay, maybe I will try out another United Kingdom fairy tale, you know, public domain, I'm assuming, IP that's just kind of taken for name recognition and made into a movie because people just won't give new things a shot. So they have to be like, how about it's Goldilocks and the Three Bears? You heard of that, right? Right? People are that ridiculous. So they have to take things that people know and make it into films. Obviously, we're doing that with like Winnie the Pooh. There's a movie coming out this week called Mary Had a Little Lamb. You've got all sorts of these kinds of movies that happen. And usually here, they're done very playfully and very like goofy and slapsticky and over the top and ridiculous, and they're very self-aware about the fact that they're doing a movie that's based on like a nursery rhyme or something, right? But with these, they take them very seriously, and I kind of love that. It's I get it. Like some people would roll their eyes, and be like, "You're seriously trying to take this seriously?" But I commend them for it, right? There's something like sweet about it to me. I don't know. Anyway, so I'd like the Jack in the Box movies and was like, okay, I'll try these because they seem similar. They have a similar cover and they have a similar like kind of idea of taking something that has no real story behind it much and making something out of it, something that's more of like a nursery rhyme or like a Mother Goose or some shit, right? And so I watched the first one, The Curse of Humpty Dumpty. And this is what it's again, a very serious movie with really serious acting and a very serious story. And I actually thought the first one was actually like the Jack in the Box movies. It was okay. I was like, okay, there's this woman who's suffering from dementia, and her two very attractive daughters come to take care of her. And when she is goes into town with them, she sees this doll, and she like has to have the doll. She'll pay any price for it. And the daughters are like, "Mom," and she does eventually get the doll. And then there is this link between her and the doll, and there's this like past that comes out and whatever. And I actually thought the acting from the mom and all that stuff was actually fairly good for low budget horror like this, and within a ridiculous premise. As far as like the Humpty Dumpty idea of the story being involved in some way of like Humpty Dumpty having a great fall and all the king's horses and all the king's men kind of thing, none of that. That is completely not part of this at all. The doll just so happens to be Humpty Dumpty, I guess. I don't know. It's not an egg. It's just like a weird looking doll that she has that's called Humpty Dumpty. So they don't even try to connect it to the other story, right? At least with the Jack in the Box movie, it's an actual Jack in the Box that plays the song and you crank the wheel and everything, right? So like with that one, they actually took the premise of what that thing is, but with Humpty Dumpty, very much not. Not that I would have any idea how they could possibly have this egg break apart, but I probably could come up with something. They didn't even bother with that stuff. This is mostly just like a killer doll movie. It kind of reminds me of like a Pinocchio's Revenge, even. But yeah, so it is a very it's a psychological horror movie for sure, because the mom's mental illness is having this great effect on her, and you're questioning whether or not throughout the film, like, is the doll really like alive, or is she just seeing that? And then as truths are revealed and there's more drama going on, I was like intrigued enough, right? It's silly, but overall I actually thought, for a straightforward Humpty Dumpty movie, I was like, this is actually all right. This isn't bad. And then I watched the second one, The Cult of Humpty Dumpty. Holy shit, man. Someone took a Humpty Dumpty right on this. Dude, The downgrade of quality, because look, the quality, let's be honest, the quality of the first movie isn't super high because of the production value, money, because of the kind of IP that it's trying to make something out of. I think they do a good job. Honestly, I do. With the first film, I think they do as good of a job as they could have for the price tag that they had, with the idea that they had to center it around and whatever, and they came up with their own original idea and this and that. The second film doesn't even try in any way, shape, or form to attach itself to the first film. It's just the same doll in a completely different scenario, and that's it. I mean, I don't even know. There's no other connection that I could find, although I wanted to kill myself the entire time I was watching this. So if I missed it, I don't give a shit. This is dreadful. This is dreadful in every way imaginable. The acting, the story, everything. Everything. The way it looks, it's garbage. It is beyond garbage. Like, I don't typically look at the IMDb score of a movie that's like a 2.6 or something on IMDb, or maybe even lower, and think, that should be lower. I usually defend these and I'm like, come on, it's not really like a 2 point. This is 100% a 2 point, if not a 1 point. This is horrendous. This is a fucking shockingly awful film compared to the first one. Because the first two Jack in the Box movies, right? And then this Curse of Humpty Dumpty, I was like, man, these are like so sincere, right? And to me, that's so great, because you're just not going to see that with American movies like this, right? You watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and it's just goofy. You're going to watch this Grinch movie that's coming out, the mean one with David Thornton. That's just goofy, right? You can always expect the American take on these IPs that are like meant for children's stories, and they're going to ham them up because they see them as jokes. And the UK versions don't. They're like, no, I want to make a real movie. I want to make a serious film. And the first guy definitely tried. I think it was a guy. Maybe it was a girl. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Who cares? They're just directors. People are people. But this person took it very seriously and did a pretty good job of it. And then the second person came in. There's no way it's the same person. And just shit all over it. Just terrible. Just an absolute obvious, shameless cash grab, even though the first one is probably technically a cash grab too. I think that they at least tried. With the second one, I don't know what the hell this was. Maybe the first one made a decent amount of money, on direct to DVD sales or whatever, and Tubi and whatever. And they were like, rushed the second one out, and they were like, here's the doll, and I need a film tomorrow. Then maybe I would give it a pass. But other than that, dude, what is this downgrade? It's already like a B quality downgraded to an F quality. Like, it is incredible. So that's that. The Humpty Dumpty movies. Yeah, I'm definitely giving everything a shot these days and watching. I just did the third Saturday in October, parts 1 and 5 together in one review. So I'm really doing a lot of these series. I did the Jack in the Box movies together in one review. So talking about these franchises like this, franchises, 2 films, but it's a franchise, right? That's that. Do not watch the second one for any reason. It is horrendous. But the first one is somewhat watchable if you're... No, it's not somewhat watchable. I think the performance from the woman, the dementia actress who I've seen in other things, she's actually in the Jack in the Box movie. Yeah. She plays the mom in the second movie who's like dying, and she uses the Jack in the Box. Yeah. Anyway, she's good. And the 2 actresses that play her daughters are really good looking and good as well. I don't know. The first movie's actually okay. It's good. For that kind of film, I'm like, yeah, all right. The second movie, whoa. All right, that's that. Bye.